everyone, I'm Dana Maybe, and today we're looking at who owned every Twice era. Like my regular viewers know by now, I base these things off of my opinion, but I also take into account the general public's view as far as I can remember them when the eras happened. Before we start, I also want to mention that as we are now in December, I am currently preparing my 2021 predictions video. If you have any predictions, you can comment them below and I might feature them in my video. Now that that's out of the way, let's jump right back to 2015. Personally, I find this era hard to decide. A lot of people would immediately point at Momo, and for the iconic dance break, she deserves a lot of credit. But besides that, did she really stand out? If I were to pick someone, it'd be Nayeon. She is the center, so it would make sense as she gets a lot of attention during the debut era. Like I said, I don't think this era had one specific person who shined more, so I'd say Nayeon and Momo equally, a tiny bit more than the others. I think it would be stupid to say that this is not a Sana era. Does it need explaining? Even though Sana is the obvious choice, I also think Mina in this era deserves more recognition. She has always stood out to me in the music video, but when I started to pay closer attention to their stages, Mina's stage presence hit me in the face. Nothing overcomes Shy Shy Shy, but both of these girls dominated the era. If you would pick Jihyo, I'd get it. But besides her, nobody else but Nayeon is even an option. TT was made for her and her only. Her vocals and visuals shine in this era in an entirely different way than during their debut. She might not be the first person to come to mind when you think of Twice's cute concepts, but her power in these kinds of eras should not be underestimated. TT Nayeon is one of the most iconic Twice moments, in my opinion. Jeongyeong stood out to me here because her voice isn't traditionally cute, but fits the whole concept of this song so much. Same goes for her styling. I feel like she was being tomboyish, but also feminine at the same time. I really liked it. I also want to give a shout out to Dahyun because she was super cute this era. Tzuyu, I feel like, was very on the background until this era, also due to her age and the criticism she got for her vocals. Signal was the first era where she truly seemed to be in her element, enjoying performances and showing her dance skills. I have such a weakness for Signal Tzuyu. Honorable mention goes to Jihyo because I think the styling and visuals of the era suited her best and her voice really came to justice here, despite there not being any ad-libs or anything similar. Sana is my bias for a reason. That reason being that she caught my heart since Likey era, my very first Twice comeback. Sana owned eras don't really need explaining. If it is one, it is one. We don't decide that, she does. Without her and Momo's Aegyo, Likey wouldn't be what it is. Now that we are on the topic of Likey, I have been thinking about making a video explaining why Likey is the superior title track. Some of you guys could use the education. Anyways, Likey is J-Line doing what J-Line does best, yet again. As you may know, Heartshaker has been quite an irrelevant era in my opinion, so I had to do research to get to my answer. Eventually, I went with the popular vote, which is Tzuyu, because like others point out often, I agree that she has this sparkle in her eyes and looks very happy and energetic performing this song. I've noticed in general that if Tzuyu is in her element, she immediately stands out and that doesn't even have anything to do with her visual. She is definitely a performer and Heartshaker era showed that. What Is Love was another era in which I feel like many members stood out, but I gotta give it to Dahyun. Her quirky personality totally came to justice in both her rap and the music video and choreo. She looks super happy in stages, her energy radiates through your screen. Not to mention that in this era, she is the hella #1 visual, do not add me. Her entire vibe in this era is just god tier. I would be biased and give it to Sana for yet another iconic chorus, but nah. This era is Dahyun's. Whether you hate Dance the Night Away like me or you're tasteless, we can all agree that thank God is Jihyo. That's it. That's the commentary. This is also finally an era in which Jeongyeong was starting to stand out for me, so at least one good thing came out of it. On to the better era of that year.
Hey boy, look, I'm gonna make this simple for you.
If you say anyone else besides Mina, you were either not a stan when the era was happening, or you're not a stan at all. The intro is almost just as iconic as Shy Shy Shy. But it's not even just the intro that gives this era to her, it's her entire being. Her vocals fit the song perfectly, and since this era was very dance heavy, she was able to show her fluid but strong moves. Jeongyeong also made me peek at her a lot during this era, but I gotta say, Mina fully owned this from head to toe. Get out if you disagree. I accept no criticism. But I can't imagine anyone disagrees with this. Chaeyoung came out of nowhere with this. We even knew that she was a great performer, but her vocals, her visuals, her presence, she kicked us all in the face, and there's still a mark on my cheek from it. Never will I forget how Chaeyoung owned Twice's best era. I have thought a lot about the honorable mention and have eventually gone for Jihyo. The high notes in Fancy are probably the best ones in their entire discography, and her stage presence in this era was insane. And that's on period. It was hard to pick between Momo and Tzuyu for this one, but I went with Tzuyu. This concept is the exact opposite of Signal, but she again seemed so in her place and much more confident than before. Especially in the purple outfits performance, she popped off. It was at that moment that she erased doubt from any hater's mind about her lead dancer position, not to mention how amazing her live vocals were. I almost picked Momo, honestly for the same reason, but I feel like especially Tsuyu's development throughout the years was so noticeable in this era, which made her stand out the most. This era as a whole was lackluster, which makes it hard to pick a member, so this is where I go back to Killing Part Sana. She kept the energy of the group up during performances, and whenever I tried to focus on another member, I eventually just turned back to her. I do have to say I also loved Dahyun this comeback. Her rap was great, and again her quirkiness fitted the concept, and like Sana, she raised the energy throughout performances. This era just ended, so I found it hard to choose, hence the 2 honorable mentions instead of 1, which I will explain later. Anyways, it's been 5 years, but we finally got it. A song that actually fits Momo's ability. People keep pushing on how she isn't meant to be a sub-rapper, but she is, and this era completely explained why. The short tarping parts, killer kind of parts, is what she excels at, and I could tell this raised her confidence and stage presence through the roof. The reason why I picked Mina as an honorable mention is because all of a sudden, her stage presence just hit, and from what I've seen, a lot of people online seem to agree, and some even say Mina saved the era from them, which is impressive, seeing as this is the second comeback since her hiatus. Tzuyu, like in Feel Special, stood out to me as well for her shining confidence. I do feel like this would have been Jeongyeong's era if she were here though. We're thinking of her. And that's all. Thank you so much for watching. I'm very curious to see if you guys agree with my opinions or not, so please let me know in the comments. I did a poll for this video a while ago asking which group you wanted to see, so for those who voted Blackpink, this video will definitely come in the beginning of next year. Thank you guys for all the support, and I hope you all have a lovely day or a lovely night. Bye!